Alright, so here I am in a Croatian countryside, 22-year-old guy, just drinking raw milk, eating organically, minding my own business and running a six-figure company from a village of 5,000 people in a random Croatian countryside. And I've been asked multiple times, how the hell am I able to live such a comfortable lifestyle without working a single hour of 9 to 5 in my entire life? So here is it. How 55 pounds made me over $40,000. At that time, just a random 19-year-old guy who, you'll hear the story, who is a video game addict, to, just situation where I'm gonna probably sit on that bench, a chair behind me, enjoy some peace. Hopefully I'm not gonna fall down in this lake. But yeah, it all started when I sold my PS5 to join my first ever program. And literally instantly, I instantly decided, oh yeah, I don't believe in this like balanced life type of bullshit. I'm just gonna sell my PS5 and go all in. And that's exactly what I've done. I sold my PS5, I joined my first ever program, and I instantly went from a video game addict to instantly grinding for 6+ hours a day, And the fun fact is, I was that broke as fuck that even to this day I still owe £1 to my mentor, and he is here with me in a Croatian countryside. And to be fair, I'm probably never gonna pay him back, but he just felt so sorry. I had the potential, I always was a smart guy, just intelligent enough to, sell the story, because at that time obviously no one would accept a random degenerate. But I sold myself, I sold the story that I am who I am right now, that I have all the capabilities, all the required skill set to become exactly who I am today. And he just accepted me in. But anyways, as soon as I joined, I was grinding day in and day out. I was just grinding for 4 months. 4 months. I booked over 60 calls, hours and hours a day, into doing cold outreach, into handling the prospects, converting them. Like I said, 60 calls booked and 0 closes. Literally 0 closes. No money made whatsoever, which is a bit insane, because I was going through a terrible time reconsidering all my choices. To be fair, even though I invested some low ticket price point, I was considering asking for a refund because I was just at such a terrible situation, And what made it even harder was the fact that few of the other boys who were hanging around me, grinding as well, being in that program, they were just killing it. They were making thousands and thousands of pounds every single month. Serious cash, while I was there struggling, And to be fair, only now I understand how important that sort of a lesson was. Only now I understand how grateful I can actually be for such a terrible period, because I managed to build a thicker shield, a shield that would be able to withstand all the other struggles and all the other shit that people are to this day even throwing at me, all the objections, all the failures. Because a lot of these business owners out there, a lot of these coaches, geeks and fucking gay guys overcharging, overpricing for no reason whatsoever, they're all about wins. Look at me, I'm in Thailand. Look at me, I'm in Dubai. Win, win, win. But no one's sharing any losses. And that's the thing. I feel that such a terrible period of time, maybe 4 or 5 months or so, made me who I am today, because now I'm just able to transfer all that knowledge to my one-on-ones, I just paved the path for myself, and now all these people that I'm directly working with, they're just able to follow it. Or in other words, I paved the path so others can follow. Hope that makes sense, And I also realized how important it was to just not be served on a silver plate, I'd say, because let's imagine this situation. I joined the program, I made 1K instantly. Where would I be today? I'd probably get complacent, because I'd realize, oh, look how easy it is. And then when I later down the line would find out that it's not that easy, me probably at that time being emotional as fuck to my dopamine receptors being fried as fuck, I would probably get depressed, disappointed, again reconsidering my choices, because when you make some cash super easily and then it all goes to hell within like days or so, then you're thinking like, oh yeah, this is not a sustainable thing. It's just not something that can be done long term. So, all in all, those struggles just made me who I am today, and now I'm directly able to help all my one-on-ones with sick opportunities. I mean, just in the last 3 or 4 days, I cleared out my list of one-on-ones who I needed to provide with killer opportunities. I've done that, and now I'm able to just scale my own thing and accept, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 more people. A lot of these, like I said earlier, gigs are all about scaling their own stuff, accepting 30, 40 people a month without having sustainable, I'd say, not businesses, but sustainable systems that can, once again, withstand all that volume. But no, I'm just here 2, 3 people a month, taking care of them. And at the end of the day, what else do I need? It is nice to make, 10, 15, 20K a month. But literally, my spend these last few days is maybe 200 euros. That's how much I spent in the last week, because I'm just eating and drinking everything organically. I don't need anything, literally anything. But anyways, back to the story. I drifted off a bit. After 4 months of working for hours and hours and hours, first ever commission that I ever made was on 3rd of July 2023. Now I know it might sound crazy, or you might think I'm just talking bunch of BS, but honestly, I'll remember that date forever, because that's where it all started. And bro, even funnier story is the fact that I made that sale for a mentor of mine. It was a low ticket thing, and I made a sale of 55 pounds. He was supposed to give me only 30% of it, which is around 16.5, And he was like, bro, just take it all. I don't need your 55 pounds. It'll serve you more than it can serve me. And to be fair, he was damn right, That's how much of a bitch I was. That's the thing. But after that commission, in my first ever profitable month, that July of 2023, I made around 4K in comms, And life has never been the same since then, because just understand that I, as a 19-year-old guy without a single hour of workday, like of a 9 to 5 in my entire life, I made 4K. And an average salary in the place I was born and raised in, and the one that I'm living in currently, is maybe 1K a month. They work 9 to 5 for 40, 100, 160 hours a month, and I made that. I made that amount of money. And essentially, it all started when I stopped justifying myself like a little bitch and realized, yeah, bro, just work. Because genuinely, I've never met a single person in my entire life that truly dedicated himself to getting better at sales and then failing. I've never met such a person in my life, And the whole moral of the story is to just, stop bitching around and just do it. Because we've been brainwashed, I feel, by all these gurus out there that are promoting their stories, obviously just to get their own sales in, about how their students made 5, 6, 7K in their first month of doing setting. And I feel that's a bunch of BS, simply because, that just doesn't make sense. They are painting the whole another picture, a completely wrong picture about how the online sales game works. Obviously, I'm not saying it's gonna take you 4 months, because that was the whole point, me paving my own path so others can follow. I'm not saying you're gonna go through the same thing, but sales is just the king. Sales is king of all industries. And when you know how to sell something, you'll never struggle to make money ever again in your entire life. Like I said earlier, I've never met a person who truly wanted to get better, truly put the hours in, and failed. Such a person just doesn't exist, How will you personally get there? You'll personally get there simply by taking action. A lot of these will tell you, yeah, invest in my program. You can invest into the program, but obviously not everyone has a certain amount of money to be able to fund it all, So what you can do is just, for example, watch my previous video that I made. It's literally 90 minutes long video explaining A to Z exactly how I found my first client, made my first commission, A to Z. 3 years of my journey summarized in 90 minutes. I know it might be long, but if that's what you need to do in order to get there, I mean, it's a no-brainer investment. Just educate yourself, take action, improve, analyze, and essentially it's all about, oh damn, yeah, we're back. We had some technical difficulties. But what I wanted to say is that just take action, double down on what works, fix what's going wrong, just analyze the data, track it all, and improve. You know, just improve. It's all about improving, because let's be real, who is it that we're even competing now against nowadays? We're competing against a bunch of random dopamine receptors fried guys who just can't, you know, control their urges, watching porn, eating trash, scrolling TikTok. Like, it's never been easier. It's genuinely never been easier, as long as you actually put the grind in and just ignore all the haters, ignore all the struggles, emotionally detach yourself from the outcome, same way I had to. Obviously it was a hard journey, but I still had to do it. And just go out there, smash the outreaches, find your client. And like I said, if you feel you need more help, you can just watch my previous video, or to be fair, you can just reach out to me on IG. That's gonna be there in the description. But yeah, all in all, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like for more sauce, free of course, not trying to sell you any shitty program, and I'll see you in the next video.